What's up everybody, I'm Eric Haynes from Backpacking TV. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Osprey Kestrel 48 liter pack. This is a $200 backpack, so it's definitely more of an introductory friendly backpack, and it can fit the right spot for those on a budget. So let's break it down, starting now. So I've been getting a lot of requests from people to not have all of my gear be super ultra light, the most high-end, $600 items. Have some things that are a little bit more friendly on the budget. Let's talk about the overall design of the pack. Something that I love to categorize all backpacks that I review is what kind of design input went into making this backpack. And honestly, this is pretty feature-rich. I'm surprised. This is a fairly feature-rich backpack for being at the $200 price point. But let's start with one of the things that it really excels at, and that's the airflow. So here on the back, you really have a lot of airflow chambers built in, and it's very well thought out. Now, this isn't as robust or as ambitious of an airflow system as some of Osprey's other packs that they have, but this is very good, and I found this to be more than adequate. I was backpacking in the Superstitions. Even though it's spring and it's not super hot, that sun is intense and you can be sweating instantly with that baking, radiating sun. So having good airflow was very, very important. I really liked that. It also had a very easy system to get fit. You can basically tug these straps. Let's say you want to loosen this baby up. You can do that relatively simple. It's not my favorite system for it, but it is still pretty simple on adjusting the torso length here. Something that Osprey has across most of their backpacks really is these deep water bottle pockets. Now, the water bottle pockets on this pack, the Kestrel, are pretty good, and they're deep, and I do like the deep pockets. However, one thing that I have noticed is that when you have a full backpack, these pockets tend to get really tight. And actually, one of the things that I didn't love about this backpack was how once you get it maxed out, or just a full backpack, these pockets became very difficult to get your water bottle in and out. It definitely needs a partner, and I can't tell you how many times asking Christy to get my water bottle out, she had to wrestle the water bottle back into its place because a lot of the interior space just fills this out, and then this becomes very, very tight. Same thing on the other side. So if I'm carrying a tripod, this might not always be relevant to everybody else, but I always carry tripods, but you might be trekking poles, it might just be more water bottles, it might be fly rods. One of the things that I like about this backpack is that you have this full compartment side entry port. So you can unzip this and you can get at things. I've got my tent here, I've got my water filter, which I definitely needed access to. So that is really handy. I do like this side access, and you don't have to unbuckle a bunch of things to get at it. You have to, if I'm carrying my tripod, I had to take that out to get that out of the way. On this side of the backpack, there is another pocket over here, and let's move the water bottle to get that out of the way. This is its own compartment, which in theory, I really like this, that it's here. However, in practice, it was very difficult to use. So when this backpack main compartment is full, this doesn't really stretch enough, so this became very limited interior room. I tried to hold just a trowel and toilet paper and some of those toilety things, which would ideally be separated from the rest of my gear, but I couldn't get it to fit in here, even though it's not bulky, just because my interior space pushed it all out, and then I couldn't zip this up around it. For really only trying to carry a trowel and some toilet paper and some things like that, it wasn't much. So I wasn't asking a lot out of this pocket, but I basically couldn't use it. So that was a disappointment. And then if you do have something in here, then this water bottle pocket becomes even more difficult to use. That, I gotta give it a ding. That wasn't the most well thought out that I've ever seen from Osprey there. Another part that I did like is this top loader compartment. So I am a fan of just a very simple straight zipper across. I kind of don't really like the big U zippers that I've been seeing on a lot of packs. This is just really simple, and you don't really need to overthink this one, but what it does is, no matter which way the pack is oriented, you're not gonna just open the zipper up and have a bunch of stuff dump out. So I do really appreciate that. You have plenty of room for sunscreen, sunglasses, trail mix. You know, I've got a fair bit of some stuff, headlamps, actually 2 headlamps, as I was testing out some extra headlamps there. So that being said, you can actually fit quite a lot of stuff. So the top loader, the ability to load it up and then not have stuff just spill everywhere when you undo that zipper is really nice. A couple other things that I appreciated are deep hip belt pockets, places for lighters, phones, knives, snacks, you know, having both hip belts have deep pockets are really good. The actual hip belt was comfortable. The biggest downside for me over on anything was these shoulder straps. I did not have a very heavy pack, especially for what I often carry. My pack weight, well, let's check it out actually. 26.4 pounds. I just took off my tripod there. And I also had a camera off the front. So altogether I was carrying about 32 pounds. So not extremely heavy, but this pack, that's kind of a lot to ask for this particular pack. And these straps were overloaded. I just really was feeling it. After 4 miles, I could feel how much this was just digging into my shoulders. And that was a surprise because I really wasn't carrying that much. So the fact that at 32 pounds, I found this to be painful on my shoulders. Another thing here that I did like though, is this kind of extra compartment here on the front, just a nice dump pocket for jackets, especially jackets. You know, I had my sun hoodie tucked away in there while I was hiking. And I kind of like how it integrates with this side clip. So you can tension this and kind of seal that up with this clip, which I do like. So if you did want to, you know, have an ice pick or something coming up here, this is kind of a nice way to put the sharp end down here. Well, I guess they're both sharp ends, but the pick side down here, and then you can kind of lace it up through here. And I feel like that's a pretty nice, clever way to do it. Something else that I always watch out for is these U-shaped pockets. So you've heard me probably mention it on other videos as to these kind of bottom compartment U-shaped pockets. Now, this is a general design, and usually I'm referring to Osprey when I talk about U-shaped pockets, but I don't like them. They always get caught, like right here, zipping them up. They're awkward, and when you have a full backpack that's tensioned, these tend to get, you can see how there's like a wave here. That means there's more pressure at this point in the zipper than there is here. So that tends to, over say a 3 or 4 year lifespan of backpacking, tends to add odd stresses to the zipper, and then that's where it's gonna fail. You'll have the zipper kind of blow out that needs a repair. So I just in general wish pack makers would not design a U-shaped zipper at places that have tension or load, because it's a recipe for a failure, in my opinion. Another thing that this pack has is an integrated rain cover. Definitely didn't need that for backpacking in the desert, but the fact that it's there, you know, saves you like a $30 to $40 purchase for an add-on to be integrated. So that's pretty handy. So I actually think that that's pretty cool. One more thing on the design that I do like is the way that this closure works here up on the lid. So I've got all my stuff in here. You can throw this buckle across and cinch that up, which is going to pull this side in. Any backpack, it's going to pull this front end in, kind of make it tighter against your body, which is a good idea to do. But then I just like pulling that ripcord string and having it auto tighten. It's not a crazy feature, but I like how Osprey has done that. I think it's very clean. There is a lot to this backpack, and I think it's well designed. Especially, again, bringing it back at that $200 price point. For an entry-level backpack, there is a lot here that I find good value in. For a $200 pack, I feel like the design, there's actually quite a lot to the design. I just wish that it carried heavier loads a little bit better. But this is a 48-liter pack, so 48 liters is kind of a unique spot for a backpack. You could use it as a multi-day pack. Let's say you're carrying lightweight equipment or you were doing like a through trail and you really wanted to be light. 45, 50 liters is actually a really nice zone to live in for how much you're actually going to carry, because you don't want to carry too much. So that being said, I wouldn't really be excited to use this pack for carrying weight at a lot of miles. If I was going to be doing a through trail, I'd want to look for something more comfortable than this. In execution, I think that this isn't Osprey's best backpack. Obviously, at a $200 backpack versus some of their $300, $350 backpacks, you can imagine it's not the top of the line. And it does feel, in reality, like a fairly average backpack, I think. But let's say you're just getting into backpacking, or you don't have a lot of budget to allocate. For $200, this is pretty dang good. So I would say, who is this backpack for? The Osprey Kestrel pack is a great pack for entry-level backpackers. If you are just looking for good value that'll last a long time, I think that this is a nice, solid backpack to grow into, to learn backpacking. If you are just getting into backpacking, I'd probably also recommend you get maybe a slightly larger pack. So 55 liters is a really nice spot for me. So this does work as a multi-day backpack, but if you are using it at a 48-liter capacity, you're just going to be limited by how much you can carry, especially with food. So if you're taking 3, 4, or 5 days worth of food, you're just going to have a really hard time fitting it into this backpack. And being kind of maxed out at around 30 pounds, if you are adding in those multiple days, the pack's just going to get heavier, and this isn't going to be the most comfortable backpack for you to wear. I don't really know how else I can critique it because of the price point. It's such an inexpensive backpack that honestly, I think it's pretty dang cool. I think it's really a nice place for entry-level backpackers to get in, get familiarized with Osprey, get familiarized with backpacking in general, carrying loads, and this is a nice backpack for you. One other thing that I do like to mention about Osprey is that they have a really nice lifetime guarantee on all of their backpacks. So that is one reason why I think Osprey has done such a good job in the backpacking world over the last 2 decades or more, really, is because people love that lifetime guarantee. So if something breaks on the backpack, you can always send it in, and I believe, as far as I know, they will repair it free of charge and send it back to you. So that is a pretty nice selling point, and I think that that has done them a lot of favors. One caveat I will say is that of all of the backpacks that I've seen need a lot of repairs, it's been Osprey's. Nobody wants to have a failure in the field, but if you do have a failure, you know that you can always send it in and have Osprey take care of it, which that's pretty nice. Quality backpack from Osprey. If you're a seasoned backpacker, I don't think you're gonna be excited by this backpack, but if you want something that fits a budget and is a quality backpack, look no further than the Osprey Kestrel 48-liter backpack. If you have any questions about this backpack or any functionality, please hit me up in the comments below. I'll do my best to keep up to date with what's going on and answer your questions about gear. I love being able to help the community out here with gear-specific questions, gear questions in general, because it's expensive out there and I want to help you make the right decisions. I hope you liked this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen with Backpacking TV. I'll see you later.